All right, let's go ahead and play some of this Red Prison, bigger Red Prison here in Modern. Trying some things with Blood Moons, Magnetic Channelers, Seasoned Pyromancers, maybe some Valakut Awakenings, the Big Chandras, and the Pia Kiran Alars. You can consider it like a token strategy. Now, we've played this already once, and I'm actually wanting to revisit it here because, to me, it's definitely got that potential big upside, and I think this is definitely one of the directions you could be taking Red Prison. Let's go ahead and get a better hand than a one-lander, and let's get a better hand than a one-lander again. We do need some lands, considering we're a bigger red list. Let's go ahead and keep all the lands here. We'll put a Mazemind Tome in on play on turn number 2 here, and see if a Mazemind Tome plus Seasoned Pyromancer card selection will give us a shot here as the first match of this league. Opponent starts with an Arbor Elf here off of basic forest. We'll go ahead and just lay out our Mazemind Tome and pass the turn. Karn's not a bad thing to see here. I don't know if it would gain us anything right now, considering our opponent looks to be creatures. Utopia Sprawl here. So we might have Ponza. Extra green was made. Garruk. All right, so we have Green Devotion is what it looks like. We can bottom the Blood Moon since they're on Green Devotion. I'll untap both of these and do something for 3 mana. Burning Tree. Burning Tree. Kind of wishing I had that Abrade again. That's okay, though. All right, let's go ahead and take a Scry here first to see what else we'd be drawing. I'll put that on top. I actually don't mind drawing a new Pia Kiran Alar. Let's go ahead and get rid of both Karn and Pia Kiran. Find ourselves a Collected Defiance and a Pia Kiran Alar. All right, not the worst. We're going to take our natural draw here as well, coming turn. Opponent's got a bunch of mana that they can make. We could be dead to something like a Craterhoof Behemoth here. Definitely can make 8 mana if they'd like. Vorinclex. Monstrous Raider. This has Trample, right? Suppose I don't mind losing Seasoned Pyromancer here. We do need a bridge now. Guess I could use the Collective Defiance and try to find a bridge here. Let's go ahead and scry. We can bottom this. 2 mode. So target player discards all, and then we'll hit the Garruk so we don't die to this. We'll get rid of a Pia Kiran Alar, and we got to find that bridge. Maybe they don't have a good way on the main deck to get rid of it. Fortunately, we don't run into anything very useful here. We can chump block a few things, though. My opponent's still got 8 mana, 9 mana now. A lot of mana. We're 1 Craterhoof away from dying. That's 4. New Garruk without using the previous one for anything here. They get this up, though, because of the Voring, and everything has Trample. I guess Green Devotion has evolved. All right. Dang. A little surprised they didn't use the Garruk for another use there. All right. Anger, Kozilek's, Bone Crusher Giants can come in here. Chalice on 1's actually decent. Blood Moon's not as interesting here. We can probably take out 1 Pia Kiran Alar, possibly, or 1 Chandra. I'm going to take out a Chandra Torch of Defiance here. And we'll send it back. We can leave Bridge in the sideboard. We still have Karn to go fetch that. We're going to be trying to use some removal here. Let's see how it goes. This looks good. We can play Valakut Awakening, Mazemind Tome again, and then this time we have a bridge. I expect my opponent may be expecting this bridge, so if we do find Karn, we have to go get that welding jar, hopefully. There's an Arbor Elf. Pretty typical turn here. Find ourselves a Karn. We'll see if they do Garruk again. Be pretty good to do that twice in a row to us. Wooded Foothills. Fetches. Looks like they potentially could be doing something with another Utopia Sprawl and 4-mana spell. We will see. Utopia Sprawl. Untaps here. The Acid Moss. Alright, I'm going to want lands. I do find a land. So they're going to Acid Moss this land away. We're going to take our land off the top. We'll probably use these to draw again, though drawing with bridge is a little bit sketchy. Probably not the worst thing to be drawing into, though. We can always Season Pyromancer, create some blockers or something like that. We have 7 mana for my opponent. See if they use any of that. Making 7. We put all 7 into it. A Genesis Hydra for 5. Alright, they find Walking Ballista, Genesis Hydra, a Garruk is here, and an Acid Moss. They get Nykthos and Garruk here. I thought they could get the Nykthos, maybe they can't. Untaps 2 lands here. Now I don't think I'm gonna draw. I wanna put everything into the battlefield if I can. Anger doesn't do enough. We'll bottom that. We have a 5/5 and a 4/4. Looks like this turn's gonna be just bridge. Just a bridge. Pass turn. Gotta see if the bridge can hold him back. I hope it does. Eternal Witness gets an Acid Moss back so they can blow up a land again. Gonna have to find a land off this Mazemind Tome. We're about to take 5. Untaps. I assume plays the Acid Moss, getting rid of Mountain. Gonna put a stop on my upkeep. 3 more mana. Another Troll. Plenty of those, it seems. Hits for 4. Really need a land here in the top 2. That is not a land. We'll bottom. And the other card is there's a land. We'll put that on top. We'll take that. We're going to give ourselves the option of either Karn. What do we want? Karn or something else? Maybe I just do Chandra here because I want Chandra as a way to finish this game. I don't think Karn wins the game fast enough. That'll work. You can put a Chalice down on 0 and a Channeler down. Hopefully find that next land. There's an Arbor Elf. Green Devotion will kind of run out of things, and they'll be just looking for this answer to bridge. One thing we could have done is Karn and then kept it with an option of getting another, getting another bridge. This will work though. We'll be able to put Channeler down here as well. Gonna do that. I'm gonna hold Chalice briefly here. This way I can use Channeler to discard that and have kind of 1 extra card in my hand at all times. Looking for a second bridge is what we're looking for at this point. Let's just upticking with Garruk. Makes sense. This can also be another spell if we'd like. Oh, let's go ahead and do Season Pyromancer here. There's an extra bridge. All right, let's play another bridge here and pass the turn. Now I'm feeling fairly safe. If it's just spot removal, we're fine. If it's a force, then we're in a bit of trouble because force kills 2 things. We have answers, though, to protect from that being the case. Let's go ahead and down. Let's up. Kaz looks kind of interesting. Kills some stuff, but I don't think I need to be killing things. Just doing 2 here looks nice. I probably go up one more time here with Chandra so that the next turn we have the most amount of things to hit our opponents with. The uptick from Chandra and this Channeler. So let's go ahead and go up for damage and whatever else we see. I see a Chalice. I'm going to say no. Pass the turn with the Collected Defiance. Collected Defiance is nice because it can do 3 damage to them. Kind of help us out because they're at 13. New Nykthos for our opponent. Goes to attack. Probably doesn't attack with just a few Arbor Elves. Gonna down tick with Chandra. Next Chandra's pretty nice here. Do 5 upstairs here. Just hit him for the other 2, and we should be good from here. I could have looked for maybe one more Chalice. I do have one more in the list somewhere. Just hoping to dodge a double removal of Bridge here. If we can do that, Garruk doesn't kill us. One thing we could have done is maybe hit the Garruk so that we don't get overrun. But I think we were pretty good once we had the 2 bridges. I don't think we change anything. I think we just send it back. We know what we're trying to beat. We know what we got to do. Let's do it. Abrades, Bone Crushers, Angers. This hand looks decent. We'll keep. Not a fast hand, but we're big red. We don't need a fast hand. I'm gonna keep 6 here. Forest, Utopia Sprawl, Arbor Elf. Makes sense. Here's one of these instances where we would definitely miss having a Simian Spirit Guide. If we were able to play that Chalice on 1 or even Anger on turn 2, that'd be really great. My opponent's got the Utopia Sprawl stuff going again with the Arbor Elves. 4 mana. We've got another Garruk. There is a beast. All right. Well, let's go ahead and Chalice on 1 here and pass the turn. Maybe they make another beast here and I get to Anger the Gods a set of them. Then Chandra maybe down tick on a beast and then maybe Big Chandra a bridge. This is a lot of mana they're making again. We might have to play the bridge first. They are making 9 mana. Genesis Hydra for 9? Oh. So a couple Gargaroths. There's a Vorinclex. Yeah, I guess we're gonna do a bridge here. That's 9. You only get to pick 1, it looks like. Alright, well, bridge and hope. We have 5 cards, so they can attack me for 3 and 1 here. Bridge and hope. Land and an unknown card. Or fetching, that can't be a good sign. Stomping Ground. Please don't shock this in. Alright, not shocked in. There's the 4/4. An extra beast here, makes perfect sense. Hits me for 4. We're at 7. I'm gonna put the Valakut Awakening into play. And we can Anger the Gods. Alright. They can hit me for 4. That is all they can do here. We're gonna probably have to Chandra empty the hand. This is where Chandra Heart of Fire is really pretty good. In for 4, we're at 3. Could die to a bolt if they're playing bolts. Alright, if I were to, I could also Maze Mind Tome and Channeler here. I could Chandra plus Tome, which I kind of like that to give me a little bit of a buffer room over the Heart of Fire. Obviously, if they kill Bridge, we're dead. I'm gonna do this though. Maybe I can find something else to help me out here. Actually, this is pretty crazy interaction, isn't it? All right. Opponent got a land here. We're going to bottom the Maze Mine Tome. I'm just going to take whatever draw this is. Let's go ahead and play a new Chandra. Let's go up for a Maze Mine Tome. Let's go ahead and deal 2 to Garruk, probably, and pass the turn. What's interesting here is that this round's down. We can infinitely use our Maze Mine Tomes now that I just noticed this. Once again, we're just trying to avoid something that kills this. We'll see, though. This is a fairly large thing. Maybe it's another Genesis Hydra. Kind of smells like one. Oh no, it's a Walking Ballista. All right, that'll do it. Green Devotion ends up beating us around the bridges. Karn would shut that down. We were going to scry 2 here with the Maze Mines. There's your Karn. Probably would have kept that and been playing that because I want to get another bridge. And we would have been able to play it and bridge. So we were just a turn away from probably locking that all the way out. Ends the breaks, though. Red Prison getting taken down. We'll see you in the next match. Match number 2 here with the Red Prisons. A little bit of an unfortunate start there. Unfortunately, not getting where we needed to against Green Devotion. They do find their win condition around the bridges. Oh well. Oh well. If we would have played Chandra Heart of Fire first instead, we would have had to still... we still would have had to uptick there. I think we would have exiled the Karn. We wouldn't have found the actual Karn for the spy, for the Walking Ballista. Oh well. Let's keep it rolling. No 5-0s this time. Let's find that match. The meta is fairly healthy and very wide open. If you got a brew out there, I'd run it right now. Let's go ahead and play first. Another one lander. We're seeming to have troubles here with the shuffler. Let's mulligan that. We'll take this. We got a Chalice on 1 or Seasoned Pyromancer and Channeler turns. We are on the play, so things are good there. Let's go. Let's see what our opponent is up to. They name green again. Okay. They name red. They name red. I'm going to go ahead and put a Chalice down first, seeing that they have Utopia Sprawl. They may have bolts, a variety of other things here. This will protect Channeler if this is the route we want to go. We may play the bridge, looking a bit like Ponza. So we'll see if that works for them. Maybe destroy a land. Maybe play a Blood Moon. Maybe pillage this away. Seasoned Pyromancer for our opponent. They can now pitch some 1-drops that they may already have. Karn and a Madcap. All right. Let's go ahead and Mindstone Channeler here. And we're probably going to just need to get behind this bridge pretty quickly here. Madcap's an interesting one. Definitely some sort of Ponza build, though. That's for sure. Ponza, Gruul, big things. Utopia Sprawl is countered by Chalice. Okay. No Utopia Sprawl for you. No ramping. Hopefully that messes them up for the turn. Sometimes they have like another 4-drop that they'd like to be playing, and when they accidentally play into the Chalice like that, they don't get to go for it. Let's go ahead and play... let's discard Seasoned Pyromancer. See what else we hit. We'll take a Scavenger Grounds. We'll play that. We'll play a Mind Stone down. We're going to play a Bridge down. We're going to just play everything. Just play everything. Go ahead, opponent. You're locked out as best as we can do. Will we beat them? It's probably going to be a race to who finds Chandra first. Fetching with the Wooded Foothills here. Has 4 mana tapped. Bloodbraid. Speaking of Chandra, she's shown up. kills Channeler, which is good for them, not us. Gives us one less draw. Let's go ahead and take a draw with a Mind Stone here. Hoping we don't hit another land. Technically don't. All right, we're going to leave ourselves with a Seasoned Pyromancer as an option here. That way we can get the tokens back. One goes up for damage, finds a Wooded Foothills. Get also Valakut Awakening at the end step. This might be interesting because we just draw a fresh card. I don't hate that option. So my opponent's playing Gruul Prison, pretty much. All right, I'm going to take a draw here and probably use Valakut Awakening here. They can get rid of my Chalice if they want to. They can technically get rid of my bridge now. Uptick the bridge, downtick the Chandra in a couple turns. We recently just played Gruul Prison too. Opponent has a Sands of Delirium? What kind of league are we playing here? All right, let's go ahead and Valakut Awakening. Let's draw some things. Our own Karn and a Collective Defiance. Okay, this is kind of interesting. All right, we haven't had the Collective Defiance really come into play too much. We've got an opponent's Karn. We have 6 mana later. I think we just hit their Karn here for 3 damage. They'll play Sands, probably. Working on Chandra. We can play Karn down, tick the Karn, and go get a Spyglass. It seems reasonable. This seems reasonable. All right, we're not out of it just yet. Good draw, good draw. Interesting sideboard card for my opponent. Now, this does keep Karn active potentially for them. They do play their Sands. All right. They're going to get basically 1 activation of this for a mill of 2. Mill of 4, possibly. Not a mill of anything. They're going to play Seasoned Pyromancer. Mill of 1 if they'd like to. There's a platinum. There's a land. Mill of 2 now. I guess they'll just fire this off, right? That's what you got to do. If I shut off Chandra, this gets a little awkward. Pia Kiran and Maze Mind. Can't attack for 2. They're going to be able to attack for 4. They have so many elementals now. Extra bridge. It's a lot of mana. But if I Karn and I downtick with Karn, I'm going to lose Karn to get a Spyglass on just Chandra. I needed like an extra land. If I go up with Karn, I go to 6. Then I could downtick. I'll turn Sands back on. Let's give ourselves a turn here to try to draw a cheaper spell or a land so I can bridge and then safely get a Spyglass for Chandra. This is giving them a lot more mana here, but maybe they're a bit dead in the hand. Maybe they don't have anything that really interacts with Karn. Maybe they'll attack Karn instead of my life total as well, which is not too bad. Puts it down to 2, and maybe the Chalice is doing work here. Opponent upticks and finds their second Karn. Can't be good. It can't be good. Downticks here. They've got 2 mana. They could go get a Spyglass and shut this off if they wanted to. Could have gone up here on the Chalice and played some 1-drops. Now, a lot of you tell me to play Boat. My opponent should be playing Boat. And we'll see if they're playing the Boat. Playing a Liquimetal. They do not play the Liquimetal, though. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's shut off by the Karn, but just kind of interesting. All right, 1, 2, 3, play Seasoned Pyromancer. Let's see what else we can run into. Getting rid of this bridge. Well, we can land. I could put a Chalice on 2, but I need the Chalice. I need to be able to Karn uptick here and then go get a Spyglass. I probably just put this Chalice on 1 as well. What am I spyglassing? Am I spyglassing the Chandra or am I spyglassing the Karn? It's tough to say. Verdant Catacombs for my opponent. Chandra continues its way up. Arbor Elf has been found. That would be countered. Double countered. Chalices on 1 don't make too much sense with the Karn out there, but hey, at least I've got 2 of them. Down ticks with Karn again. This could be Boat. It's a Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle is countered. Not sure my opponent's quite figured out that I have what I have out here. Seasoned Pyromancer digging further. So I've got a Karn to deal with on their side and a Chandra, so it's Spyglass plus something else. I need to find my other Chandra. Heart of Fire would be great to find. This is a dud due to this. I really don't have a lot here. I guess we're gonna just nail this other Chandra Torch of Defiance with our Spyglass. Where's our Spyglass? There it is. Get a peek at their hand, I suppose. Chandra, Pillage, and Stomping Ground. I accidentally made the hand go away, so let's grab that real quick. So they've got a Pillage here. That's pretty good. Not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do against that. We'll just pass the turn, see if they decide to use that Pillage or use Karn for some reason. They're going to probably pillage away this bridge. They pillage away the Spyglass. I don't have to use the Scavenger Grounds immediately, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So they pillage, they stomp my Karn here. This activates their Sands. Now there's not really a reason to go ahead and use the Scavenger Grounds. Opponent's moving to second main and does not use Sands here. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice Desert here to clear the graveyard and then play Blood Moon on the off chance that I can find another Karn off the top and go get Spyglass to stop Chandra. Sands used, mills a few more. I'm at 34 cards here, and not to mention that I have a Chandra I have to deal with, but I also have to deal with a Karn and this random Sands. I don't know about this card. This intrigues me, but I don't know about it. My opponent mills us for 9? 8. Well, we don't see a Karn down here. We're alive. Okay, they didn't even activate their Karn. We have a Collective Defiance here. I hit the Chandra so I don't die to the Chandra. Go ahead, opponent. They can mill me for another 9-ish or so, maybe even more with the Chandra though. That can't be good. That can't be good. Finds a Blood Moon. Nothing scary with that. I'm at 6. They're going to mill me for a bunch more here. There's one more Karn. We have 16 cards left. Could top deck Karn. Opponent is ignoring that they have their own Karn at this point. I have 15 cards left. Let's go for it. We've come this far. No reason to stop. Channeler in play. Go ahead, opponent. You can mill me for a bunch more. There's Heart of Fire. There's no second Heart of Fire just yet. 2 more damage. Sands for another 8 or 9. Puts me at 7 cards, draws 6. There's another Heart of Fire. I don't believe I can win now. Discard Channeler to see what other cards I had. Alright. Bridge and Gemstone don't do it. Well, this is an interesting version of Gruul. I'll call it Gruul Prison. It's pretty much that. Let's bring some Angers in. Bone Crusher Giants here. Take out the Blood Moons, obviously. Chalcen 1 seems okay. I think everything else we need to go ahead and grab with Karn. Let's send it back. Come on, we can beat this. Keep Chalcen 1, maybe Chalcen 2. I don't know. All right. Play that Valakut down and pass the turn. Windswept Heath, fetch. Probably basic forest, I'd imagine. Nope, Stomping Ground. And puts it into play tapped. All right. Well, I still am going to go ahead and put a Chalice on 1 here. My opponent could have Pillages. They could have forgotten that they had an Arbor Elf and accidentally put that into play tapped. Definitely Chalice on 1 does stop quite a few things, so we'll see what things that might stop. Let's go ahead and do a kind of like a Seasoned Pyromancer, Chalice and Tome out of the way. My opponent hasn't really done anything thus far. Just getting to play creatures and get some stuff on the board seems good. Finding a land's great. Finding an extra Seasoned Pyromancer is fantastic. Opponent stomps away a Seasoned Pyromancer. That's fine by us. Looks like we'll be loading up a Pia Kiran Nalaar next. Fetching with Wooded Foothills. I'm expecting this Bone Crusher to be played. Opponent's got that spot removal going for them. And there it is. All right. Just play our own Pia Kiran Nalaar and pass. Making tokens. Just gumming up the board here. Making it nice and slow. No worries from us so far. Could play Seasoned Pyromancer to dig more. Collect a Defiance to dig more. Or hit maybe a Planeswalker they're about to play here. A lot of options. Four mana. There's Karn. Okay. There be Karn. Goes down to 3. We can definitely kill that with some Thopters and Elementals attacking, or Bone Crusher Giant. We get an Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. Opponent is worried about us killing them. So we could do 4 here, 3, and just attack them. Sort of like that. I don't think I need to get rid of my hand either. So let's do 4 target creature, 3 Planeswalker. Getting a little bit of collected Defiance action here. Take a little bit of damage here, but swing for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. That puts them to 10. This puts them to 8. It's getting close. Throw a few things with Pia Kiran Nalaar. We're almost there. Man, I love Pia Kiran Nalaar. Getting around the bridge, kind of an old school thing to do. Brings a smile to my face. In for 6, down to 10. Opponent's got an Ensnaring Bridge in hand and 5 other cards. They've chosen to hit us with spot removal most of the time so far. There's Bridge. They don't know it yet, but they're pretty close to being dead on board here. Utopia Sprawl out of hand, gets countered by Chalice. In for 6, double tap them with the Bone Crushers. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. All right, that worked. So, got a win and a loss against this opponent. Collective Defiance saving us a bit there. Good card, good card. I really think I've just got to run it back again. Run it back, and we need to have the upper hand on the cards that we end up playing versus my opponent. Obviously, that's a pretty obvious thing to do in Magic. If you've got the better cards, you win. But I think the matchup's fairly even. We are both, after all, prison-style lists. It's going to be the one that does better. Here we have that Chalice on 1, not opposed to this card. We've got 2 lands plus ramp, and we've got some spot removal. Everything I don't mind seeing in our opening hand. So we'll keep it, and we'll see where it takes us. If my opponent doesn't play a flurry of probably things on 1 here, I might actually work on Mind Stone next, just so that we have 4 mana for maybe double Bone Crusher Giant. Pillages away a land, all good. Play our Gemstone Caverns and pass. Pawns has always been a little bit hard for us. We usually play a little bit lighter on the lands because we've had the rituals. In this case, we at least have a few more lands and things like Mind Stone, but we do have to get to 2 mana for our Mind Stones to actually work for us. Windswept Teeth for our opponent, fetching a Stomping Ground here. This could be a Madcap. Madcap it is. Where's our Abrades? That's not an Abrade. Let's take a Mazemind Tome to try to find that Abrade. If we find a land, I can always play a creature out to defend ourselves. We'll keep ourselves a stop on our upkeep. And really, I've got to hope that they don't put too much more pressure on us here. A few more Arbor Elves and Utopia Sprawls would be fine by me. I need them to not land a Planeswalker here. Hits us for 8 down to 12. It's pretty hefty. Scry. Not a Chandra, thank you. Scry. All right, I do think I have to take a land here. And we'll go ahead and play a Bone Crusher Giant as a blocker and pass. My opponent could bolt this. They could do numerous things here. I'm deciding Bone Crusher Giant over Magnetic Channeler. So they hit me twice with double Bone Crusher Giants. They could have killed my Bone Crusher Giant and then swung for 8. That being said, this is going to be a lot of potential damage here. We need a bridge, and even that I don't think does it. There's a Seasoned Pyromancer. Opponent's got 10 damage available to them. Probably a little bit more with an extra Bone Crusher Giant here. We'll take our Scry. We definitely need it now. Anger is not what we need. We need an Abrade. We do not find an Abrade. All right, to help us out the most here, I'm going to do a Mind Stone plus Channeler. Channeler is only blocking Platinum. Hopefully we get that opportunity here. Looking for a Bridge, although Bridge is not necessarily a win because of Pillage. And hoping my opponent doesn't find 2 more Bone Crushers. We hope they don't find a Chandra. We hope they don't find a Karn. We hope they don't find, like, everything. They did find Karn, though. We're in a lot of trouble here. Our Mind Stone and our Mazemind Tome are now at lockdown. Opponent's got an Arbor Elf. We're having to block a Platinum. We're taking 2. Karn, they haven't even used yet. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Down ticks with Karn here. They reveal a Liquimetal Coating, which is pretty good for them. We'll take our natural draw. Okay. Well, I can block one more time. That's about all I've got. Go for the block. And hope for the best. Hope for the best. I don't really know what I'm trying to get off the top here at this point. Liquimetal Coating kills here. If I get Bridge, Mind Stone, Bridge, die to this, I can block. It's looking like it's all over. Pillage, Liquimetal, blocking Platinum, 3 damage. Oh, just 2. Now I need a land plus something else here. Well then. Untaps, plays a Bonecrusher Giant. I got nothing. Top of the library is a... It's just an Abrade. For good measure. There you have it. A Ponza Gruul Prison taking us down. Something we've played similarly. This one's doing a Madcap, which means they don't have Ensnaring Bridge main. But why bother when you have Platinum out? We'll see you in the next one. Match number 3. We need to turn this around. Playing some things that are not ordinary. I think it's a great opportunity, if you're still tuned in at this point, to talk about that. Because the league is not that ordinary, it shows, one, that Modern is very healthy, in that people can play whatever. When people can play whatever, Prison will struggle. Now, we just need a few cards that would be a little more broad in terms of what they're attacking, and we could then perhaps play a lighter Prison, that being that the locks will not be as hard locked, and more of things that would slow down the game. This is why the Prison community is experimenting with splashes, and I'd encourage the same. Red Prison, match 3. Let's go. Let's find a win. All right, we're gonna keep this. We can get rid of a Gemstone. Probably don't mind getting rid of an Abrade, but I could get rid of Pia Kirinalar. I could also get rid of Chandra. Let's get rid of Chandra for fun here. We're gonna do this Mind Stone. This Abrade's looking really good right now. Bridge looks awful, but Abrade looks fantastic. Abrade away the Expedition map, and let's go from there, opponent. We have Tron mana. We do have green right after this, though. They're looking pretty good and healthy themselves. We unfortunately only get to ramp to 1 Mind Stone. We'll pass the turn. Again, bridges aren't great. They can be thrown by a Pia Kirinalar. Oh. We blow up. They've got the Karn. I thought I was a Prison list. Good game, Tron. Well then. Unfortunately, we don't have a very aggressive sideboard. We don't have aggression because we have Chandras here. We have things like bridges. We're trying to be big red. We're going to bring in a Chandra. We're going to keep a Chandra in and bring Hazards and Bonecrushers. Because we have the Collective Defiance plan, we have more of the token strategy here. We don't have a very aggressive plan. Without that aggressive plan, things like this could end up resulting us struggling here. We'll see though. We've got a Blood Moon here, maybe on turn 3. We'll see. And hopefully this Channeler will help us with then Karn, and we'll lock our opponents out. After all, they just did that to us. Chromatic Star for my opponent. We find off the top a Chalice is kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and do this Channeler though. Hitting Blood Moon on curve is extremely important here. Keeping in mind that this list does not have really any way to ramp other than Mind Stone, so it's not immediate like, say, a Desperate Ritual. So we're going to be looking for this Blood Moon to be active. Sylvan Scrying, my opponent does have the Tron. We need the Blood Moon here, and we need a land. That is not a land. Try again. We find a mountain and a Blood Moon. Thank goodness we found the mountain off of the Magmatic Channeler. We get the Blood Moon down. Good luck, opponent. Next up, Karn, if we can. Karn, go get Liquimetal. Shut things down. That's the plan. That is the plan. Our turn to be the locking list. We'll attack for, I guess, 1. Go ahead, opponent. They've got 4 mana. They play their own Karn. Okay. Interesting. This is at 3. They get an Oblivion Stone. Oblivion Stone doesn't work, really. Let's go ahead and put a Pia Kirnalar down. I'm going to go... I want to go down one more time here and get something like Wormcoil. Let's go down and get a Wormcoil engine here. We'll attack for 1 at their Karn. This way we can get Liquimetal coating down. The Oblivion Stone really doesn't matter here due to our own Karn. Some of the fetches tonight have been very strange. I think we should have it from here. We should have it from here. This will be a very quick 1 and 2 here against Tron. Oblivion Stone's played. Can't be activated. They make it as a defender. Okay, that is a reasonable way to go about this. We have the Abrade. Let's go ahead and destroy this artifact. Let's go ahead and attack Karn down. Gonna attack with everything. Let's play our own Liquimetal coating. Let's take them off Tron here, just in case they can get rid of Blood Moon, and we'll pass back. Things are looking good. Are we going to be going to game 3, opponent? That is a yes. This game is coming down to who has the answers first, who gets to the board first. No changes. Let's go. Game number 3 against Tron here in Modern. Need a fast start to Blood Moon. That's what we will need. This is not that. Let's mulligan. This is not that either. Does have an Abrade. Abrade is tempting. I think I have to mulligan again, though. Let's get rid of Pia Kirnalar. Let's get rid of a Collected Defiance here. We're going to put Gemstone, Maze Mind, and see if Chalice maybe works. My opponent's mulligan to 4, so we've kept 5. I'm going to hope Channeler's going to be enough here. If they don't play anything immediately on turn 1 here, we may put the Chalice on 1. We'll see. Power Plant and no follow-up. We have the Blood Moon. Let's play the Channeler. This is our chance. We both had to mulligan a whole bunch. Spatial Contortion. Please, opponent, do not have Tron. Do not bust me here. Wilt cycles. They're going to want that Wilt back. Let's play Blood Moon past turn. Chalice on 1 next, if we can. They do hit Tron. This is an interesting card here. I can hold this because I can then have 4 mana. We can use it as a bit of a cycle card as well. All right, we're gonna want it in play now because we ended up finding Pia Kiran-Nalaar. Let's get the engines going. This is about as aggressive as this list can be. Remember, we're trying to be bigger. Chromatic Star countered by Chalice on 1. We were given the turn back. Hand looks fantastic. Attack with damage, pass the turn. Down to 16, 5-turn clock. Turn is given back. We get a Channeler. We'll play that down. Attack for 4. Go ahead, opponent. Again, both opponent and I had to mulligan quite a bit. They've got 3 mana though. Wasn't 7 though. There we go. Red Prison takes down Tron without an aggressive sideboard. We'll see you in match number 4. Queued up. Match 4. Let's get things rolling. It's gonna be interesting. We got a W. We gotta fight for this league. Spike U's our opponent. We got that turn 3 Blood Moon, turn 2 Chalice. It's about as good as it's gonna get in this list. Let's go. Temple Garden. Oh ho ho! I like that. Let's go ahead and lead with the Scavenger Grounds, trying to hide some of this. Chalice could potentially be put on 1, could be on 2, could be on a few things. Now this will help them. Be good to get rid of the Reclaimer somehow, which we can after Blood Moon's deployed. We'll see if we get lucky. We're gonna go ahead and throw the Chalice down on 1. Could be putting on 0 for Summoner's Pact. This variation of the list has definitely changed a little bit over time. I think my next thing to do here is definitely get a Blood Moon down though. Try to stop this from being too crazy here. Bird of Paradise is countered on the Chalice on 1. That's good. Opponent does not attack us either, obviously. Let's go ahead and slap down this this Blood Moon. And then I guess it's gonna be a Chandra downtick on the Elvish Reclaimer. They have an opportunity to go get a couple green sources here, which maybe then Karn will help us out with. We'll see. Basic Plains though. Double Basic Plains here. Could have Skyclave. Sometimes they have those pesky creatures. They do. So they go get rid of Blood Moon probably here. I can probably kill the Elvish Reclaimer still. They do attack. Future Blood Moon would be nice, which we do not hit. We'll go ahead and still play a Chandra in here and kill the Reclaimer. This way my opponent doesn't accelerate at any point here. This is going to die here to the Skyclave. My opponent's going to be at 5 mana. We're not dead yet. Windswept Heath. Karn, go get something like Bridge, could be positive for us. There's a Renegade Rallier getting the Windswept Heath back. This is a good way to accelerate their mana. It's working for them. Gets a Reclaimer back. It's not bad either. Got around the Chalice pretty nicely. Does attack Chandra for 2. All right. And for 2 mana, puts down a Stoneforge. All right. I go get a Batterskull. Let's see here. I think this turn has to be maybe Mazemind Tome plus Mind Stone here, with the idea that I could Karn downtick and get a Bridge. I know we take a good chunk here, but it's just a Batterskull right now. I'm maybe not as worried as perhaps I should be. Opponent attacks for 5, maybe more. Just 5, goes to 14. Obviously, future Skyclaves are going to be a problem. Let's Maze Mine Tome, see what we find on the top. A Braid's actually not too bad. We'll keep that. So we'll go ahead and play Karn, down tick Bridge, and hope for the best here. Hope for the best. Got to stop them from attacking us, that's for sure. Go ahead. What do you got? I'm hoping not a second Skyclave. If they do, we're pretty toast here. Pretty toast. What's unfortunate here also is that the bridge, although nice, Skyclave, Welding Jar won't prevent this either. Batterskull comes into play from the Stoneforge Mystic. And they use Elvish Reclaimer here as well. This could be a Knight deck as well, based on what we've seen. Doesn't necessarily mean it's Amulet. Black here. Now it definitely doesn't feel like Amulet. Might attack Stoneforge to Karn here, and they do so. A Braid can kill the Stoneforge. We'll probably go up with this Karn. We forgot a Scry, so we'll just take our normal draw. Valakut Awakening, huh? I'll just put that into play. Let's go ahead and Maze Mine Scry. Bottom that land. Up. Do it on the Batterskull here. Becomes a 5/5, gets rid of the token though. And we have the Abrade potentially for the Stoneforge. I could also Abrade the Skyclave Apparition and get a blocker here. Might be what I want to do. Mishra's Bauble doesn't do anything here. Let's allow this to attack us potentially and see if we can hit Skyclave to create a blocker here. We have Path covered, so I like this as a potential way to get rid of 2 creatures instead of just 1. We're using Elvish Reclaimer here. Okay. Not entirely sure what this is going to do for us. Oh. They have a step to give protection from red. Well, that's nifty. That's nifty. All right, so Karn gets hit one more time here. Not the end of the world. Let's scry. Collected Defiance doesn't look like a bad card here. Let's go ahead and put that on top. We'll uptick. Let's get rid of the Bauble just in case. And let's just 2-mode 4 and 3. We'll hit Skyclave, maybe Reclaimer. Let's hit Reclaimer and let's hit 3 upstairs. And let's pass the turn. It's kind of interesting because that gives me the possibility of hitting them for a few more times with this Collective Defiance. Maybe get there. If we had a Blood Moon out, I'd entertain the idea of Liquimetal Coating. I don't have a Walking Ballista, unfortunately. It's an Eternal Witness. What is this going to get back? Windswept Heath. I'm actually kind of happy that Eternal Witness isn't getting back a Skyclave. We have Torp Orb, right? Might be time to get a Torp Orb. We have the Eternal Witnesses covered by Scavenger Grounds. If I wanted to. I'm trying to get a Reclaimer here. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. I don't particularly want a Reclaimer coming back. That gives them access to too many lands that could be a problem. Let's take our Scry here. I feel like we have them pretty locked out. We'll bottom this. Take our draw. Pia Nalar is not bad. We'll down tick for a Torp Orb. We're going to play Pia Nalar first, then Torp Orb. Go ahead, opponent. And now I have a bunch of things I can throw at my opponent, and I can attack for 2 in the air every turn. Looking pretty good here. There's a Tireless Tracker. Let's go ahead and attack for 2. Nothing's flying that I see. Throw down a Maze Mind Tome. Uptick. Nothing. Pass the turn. I can throw Maze Mind Tome at end step. After a Scry. 1, 2, 3. I can't throw 2 things. I'm a mana short of throwing 2. We'll take our Scry though. Sort of Light and Shadow. Nice. Let's go ahead and Scry. This should be it though. Don't want that. Throw Maze Mind at their face. Pass turn to us. Attack for 2. Throw 2 things. Win the game. Nice. That's what we like. Now, this list is not necessarily Titan. It is a bunch of Renegades and just some good Abzan value, it looks like. With that, we're going to bring in some nastiness like Bone Crusher, Kozilek's Return, Anger the Gods. Probably just have to... I want to take out probably just the Chalices. Chalices and maybe 1 Channeler here. I don't think Chalice on 1 or even 0 is that important. We do have Bobble that we have to worry about. I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't think so. Let's make it not a problem. It's easy. Easy. All right. Gemstone, getting rid of a Seasoned Pyromancer. We're gonna play Channeler. Looks good. See if they fetch for any of those basics initially. Basic Forest, play down a Reclaimer. Plays a bird. Nice. Alright, we'll play Channeler and pass the turn. This is really nice. I can collect a Defiance the bird. I could get rid of maybe whatever they're going to play here. That looks fine to get rid of, potentially. Kind of want to get rid of this bird, actually. Ooh. Alright, I'm going to get rid of the bird here. Only because it will slow them down a little bit. I can always Seasoned Pyromancer next. I probably don't though, because I'd love to get the Chandra. This would be a great thing to potentially kill. I'm expecting a Sword of Fire and Ice, though they play a Batterskull. Attack for 2. Okay. Alright, so instead of playing Chandra, since we don't have the Valakut Awakening, I'm actually going to go ahead and play a Seasoned Pyromancer, pitching Valakut and Maze Mind Tome, trying to get this Chandra, and we'll have a few tokens. We end up missing. That's okay. The risk that we take here. We do have a few blockers, and my opponent is stuck at 2 mana. Bojuka Bog's not the scariest thing. Blood Moon looking really strong. They're going to use Stoneforge here easily. Okay. Let's... Blood Moon just looks so strong here. Let's go ahead and Blood Moon here. They'll obviously put Batterskull in the play, but my opponent only has a green source here. We'll see if they use the Stoneforge or if they have a way to get rid of Blood Moon. They Ephemerate the Skyclave here. That's pretty good, getting rid of Blood Moon. We do get a 2/2. I guess that's something. Means I can attack now. Ephemerate was an interesting one. Torpor Orb's even that much more important against them. Kind of Abzan value town here. So Ephemerate here. Going to enter Stoneforge Mystic, Batterskull. And then Ephemerate Stoneforge Mystic to get another sword here. That's some good value. Sword of Fire and Ice. That's definitely a good one here. Extra planes. All right. That protects from the blue and the red that we have. We end up hitting a land. Well, let's play Chandra. I think I want to kill probably Stoneforge Mystic here. Only because I can double block. They would need land, and they've been kind of light on lands here. So if they miss a land, they don't get to do this immediately. And it gives me a kind of an extra draw or two. Let's see if they even bother attacking. They go ahead and attack here. I think I'm going to go ahead and double. Double down on the blocks here. They have a removal spell. They have a removal spell. All right. Can't attach it right now. We have the ability to potentially get more tokens back. There's an extra Stoneforge. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. More swords. So this allows them to do the sword plan next turn. Hoping for an Abrade. We do not find one. I think I've got to kind of play everything I can out here. Because we know we're going to be dealing with a sword. And I think this, we're not going to really be blocking anymore, unfortunately. Because I'll just play Sword of Fire and Ice and attach to probably the 2/2 here. Oh, they abrupt Assassin's Trophy. Actually, I don't like that from them at all. Why Assassin's Trophy there when you're going to literally put this into play, attack me, and shoot the Chandra for 2? I don't like that play at all. All right, Stoneforge. Sword. I'll probably draw now because the sword makes it too big in case I do find a ensnaring bridge. So we want to take as many draws as possible here to find anything and everything that can get us through. This 2 should just go upstairs since you've already Assassin's Trophied me. And it does. They do draw an extra card. So we really do need to find that bridge. There's a Verdant Catacombs from our opponent. And we'll take our draw. It's a pretty good card. I think I'll take a natural draw behind this. Okay, land. 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and put the Chandra down. And I'll go ahead and shoot the Stoneforge here. We do not have 3, but putting this up to 6 means the entire turn has to be Skyclave attacking. Now they can do the Batterskull here too. Looks like they might have an Ephemerate. We're not in a great spot here. We need a way to get rid of the sword. 8, 9, 10. Actually, we're just dead here if my opponent equips. Maybe I needed to find an Abrade actually going up with Chandra. Yeah, that looks more correct. All right, Noble Hierarch here. If we would have gone up and actually left red open, we would have hit 1, 2, 3. Oh. We'll never know. We'll never know. 3 cards deep. It could have been an Abrade in there somewhere. All right, we're on the play now. I'm going to go ahead and just submit as is here. We know that they have Abrupt Decays or Assassin's Trophy. So that's their way to interact with Bridge. We like this hand. We've got a nice Abrade here that can get rid of one of those pesky artifacts. We've got Valakut Awakening here. I'm going to leave the upkeep stop because we're about to get a Maze Mind Tome pretty quickly here. Looks pretty good. Not a bad start. It's an Elvish Reclaimer. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this. This gets out of hand very quickly. We have a reasonably decent hand here. They could play a Stoneforge here, but I think I can beat a Stoneforge. Basic Forest for our opponent. There's Stoneforge. This will find this sort of Fire and Ice, I would guess. Nope, they go Batterskull again. It's not a bad find off the top. We'll go ahead and stomp Stoneforge here and pass turn. A few lucky draws, I'll admit here, but I'll take some luck. Every now and then it is good to be running hot. Verdant Catacombs for our opponent. This could be that Renegade Rallier to ramp them to 4. Extra Forest. Tireless Tracker. Okay. Karn. Let's use Seasoned Pyromancer to find hopefully a land here for this Karn. And we do. Excellent. Tireless Tracker is definitely annoying, but Karn's going to shut down the value with the clue tokens. We'll see if they have maybe a fetch land, which they'll get 2. They only have 1 here, so if they actually don't play anything, we've got a shot. Okay. Looks like the most this clue is going to grow to is 1 extra. Let's go ahead and play a Mind Stone down and a Karn the Great Creator. I can probably go down for a Liquimetal Coating. Ooh, all right. Using the clue. I think a Liquimetal Coating is not a bad idea here. I can play Liquimetal plus a bunch of blockers. I could also go get like a Torp Orb right now. You know what? Torp Orb's probably the safer thing to get. And then we can go get Bridge right after. And that should shut them down fairly hard. Obviously, Abrupt Decay is still a thing. And that Assassin's Trophy. There's a Tireless Tracker. Trigger with the clue. We're going to get more clues here with the Reclaimer. Clues don't do a whole lot, though, unless they're able to kill off the Karn. This is how they're going to go get their black mana. I assume they're going to go get their black mana this way. More clues showing up here. Ah, they're going to get this step here again. Give this protection from red and get in at the Karn. Interesting. We even just played against this. Now they have a bunch of clues. This isn't good. Renegade Rallier now to get back the Stoneforge Mystic. Dang. Well, that all fell apart very quickly. Let's go ahead and put a Pia Nalar in and a Torp Orb and just pass the turn. Though, I'll be honest, it's not looking very good for us. We will need a bridge, and we'll need a way that they can't kill the bridge. Torp Orb's a great piece here. They have several draws, though, with all the clues. We'll probably be just chump blocking the Tireless Tracker from here on out. I'll probably block it with Seasoned Pyromancer first. Actually, sort of Fire and Ice prevents this. We'll have to block with Thopters instead. We can't even throw things at this because it has protection from Pia Nalar. So definitely a chump block. Looking for that bridge. Another Reclaimer. Bridge. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's take a draw with the Mind Stone. Well, we reset the land. 1, 2, 3, Seasoned Pyromancer. 1, 2, 3, Bone Crusher Giant. Gonna be chump blocking again with a Thopter. We'll see. Pops a Clue, Stoneforge, Batterskull. It's not looking good. Stoneforge puts into play the Batterskull. All right. Are they just going to attach this over here and then I just jump block again? We have one draw here to find bridge. I do move it over. Plays a land. Come on, Thopter. Save us. Not blocking there, they just shoot the Thopter down and then kill us the next turn. This gives me potentially 2 draws here. All right, there's a Chandra. We'll go up and hope we don't go over bridge. We went over a Chandra. All right, that digs us one more. And we'll pass turn. I don't exactly want to attack out because then the return attack kills us. This is 13. This would be 16, 19, 20, 23. So that would not be ideal. This is already quite a bit here. And if it's another sword here, they might be able to kill me. Sword, attach, +2/+2. +2, so +4/+4, 15, 16, 17. And do up to 17 damage, it looks like. Assassin's Trophy's a Torp Orb. Okay. That's a weird thing to do after Stoneforge activation. Then Ephemerate, oh my gosh. Activates Stoneforge, then ephemerates the Stoneforge after Assassin's Trophying, so they can get a Sword of Feast and Famine, which then they put into play and attach. And put a bird. Okay. Attacks me for 15 damage. It should attack... Yeah, they should attack me. They don't want to just like try to pick off Chandra here. So we do have a couple more outs now that they've done this. We have another Piakir Nalaar is another out. We technically have an... Oh, we don't... yeah, we have an Abrade that could be a potential out as well. So we got a few outs. Not a lot though. Bridge, Karn, Abrade, Piakir Nalaar. Now we probably don't have any of those because Eternal Witness gets back an Assassin's Trophy. And if I tapped a little bit differently, we could have the Scavenger Grounds there. A little bit sloppy. A little bit sloppy is going to cost us. All right. Season Pyromancer lets me draw 2 more deeper. Like I said, Piakir Nalaar is probably our best bet. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll play Chandra. We're gonna up with mana and we're gonna hope for the best here, I think. So discard, looking for an Abrade. We find a Karn the Great Creator. That would have also helped because it would have gotten rid of the sword. We can go up here, but this game is done. Another Karn. We go over 2 of our Karns here. Opponent's able to attack us with the 14-13 Tireless Tracker with protection from red. Not a lucky day, that's for sure. Match 5. Next. 5th and final match here for the evening. Trying to get Red Prison working, and it's definitely not. We've run into a few oddball lists though. Torp Orb's been really good. Bridges and Blood Moons have been alright. Chalice definitely could be better. Could be better. I think some of our lists cutting Chalice and putting in Bolts would be performing a little bit better tonight. But hey, we didn't expect to run into some Ephemerate list. Didn't expect to run into Green Devotion of all things. But we did kill that Tron player. Match 5. Let's go. All right, we have a chance at 50 play points. We're gonna make the most of it. Here we go. Match number 5. Let's find this opponent. Let's play some Magic. We lost that Ponza player too, didn't we? Ponza's tough. All right. Opening hand seems reasonable. We have a Gemstone Caverns that we can play out. We've got a couple deserts here. Got an Abrade, got a bridge. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the mountain here so that I have at least both deserts that I can work with going forward. This gives us a bunch of non-basics, so hopefully my opponent's not gonna target non-basics with, say, Field of the Ruins. And we've passed it back to my opponent. I'm just sitting there, thinking about their first play. It's Marsh Flats. We might get Thought Seized here. And we do not. Let's play a Scavenger Grounds down and pass. We do keep our Abrade open by doing this because we have Gemstone Caverns with its lucky counter on it. Fetches with Marsh Flats. Getting an Overgrown Tomb. So I haven't seen anything that would indicate that we should have Blood Moon, so it's really nice that they have the Overgrown Tomb here. It is possible my opponent just needs both black and green at this point. We could kill a Tarmogoyf right now. Collective Brutality. All right. Well, they get to steal the Abrade. We'll get to play, what, Seasoned Pyromancer? I think I got to play this bridge down sooner than later. Rock colors typically attack with creatures, although the Collective Brutality is a bit of a strange one here. Okay, let's go ahead and put down that bridge and pass turn. Again, I don't want to be attacked by, say, a Tarmogoyf. Collective Defiance is nice as a pickup here. Would be able to kill quite a few creatures. Can help deal with a Liliana, but doesn't kill a Liliana. We'll see. Abzan colors again. It's been quite an Abzan night here. Thoughtseize, okay. Still kind of interesting. I don't see them necessarily wanting to take the Seasoned Pyromancer. They might take Chandra here. If they're trying to kill 1-for-1, the Seasoned Pyromancer could be taken here. I don't know. Maybe they have an answer for Chandra? All right. Chandra goes to the bin here. We've used Thoughtseize. We have a Tarmogoyf, which is a 4/5. A little bit too large for Collective Defiance, even. We'll play our land, because it's kind of nice to have that. And we'll go ahead and do a Seasoned Pyromancer here. Gives us a token, gives us a blocker, draws us 2 cards. And they're pretty good cards. Plan here is potentially Karn downtick. Might even be just a follow-up bridge, honestly. We do have just Tarmogoyf here. Karn maybe just upticks here so that we don't lose anything to Thoughtseize, Inquisitions, and Lilianas. The Lingering Souls. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and play Karn. I hate the idea of down-ticking here in fear of a Thoughtseize, but let's go for it. Let's get a Liquimetal Coating because I think it's the best thing we can do. Obviously, these spirits have a good chance of killing Karn, but if we top deck a land, we can do Bridge, Liquimetal, and Chalice. We're hoping that they have no discard here. And Liquimetal Coating, although it's maybe not the strongest card, I think it's got the best upside here for us. We can start going after maybe these green lands. We have a follow-up bridge here, so we didn't really need the Welding Jar to protect. Chalice on 1 would be better than 0, but we might have to just live with a Chalice on 0 to empty the hand. Windswept Heath for my opponent. Basic Forest. Do we have a follow-up? attack for 2 in the air at Karn, putting Karn down to 1. They attack me instead of Karn. Oh, I'll go to 18. That's fine by me. We get to hang on to Karn for a little bit longer. It's an interesting attack. Makes me think they have Assassin's Trophy or something for this Karn. Plays another Spirit, Lingering Souls. That one was from the yard this time. Another Tarmogoyf, and we have a random unknown card in hand. All right, there's a Mind Stone. Let's play Mind Stone down. Wonder if there's anything from the sideboard I prefer to get this turn. I think I actually want to go ahead and get a... Let's go get a welding jar. We'll put the welding jar on 0, and we'll actually go ahead and we're going to put the chalice on 1 here. And we'll pass the turn. They weren't interested in attacking Karn the last time. Maybe this time they won't be interested either. They might throw 1 at Karn, making the Liquimetal a little bit useless here. We'll have to find a way to empty our hand. Right now we can cast both of these because I played the Mind Stone. And if they have a welding jar, if they have a target for bridge, we can use welding jar. So now we have a bunch of bridges that they'll eventually have to get through if we do find, say, a top deck land, or maybe a top deck chalice, or something a little bit not as expensive. Opponent is going to be casting something here at the beginning. And is reconsidering. Boots up a Shambling Vent. Okay, I can definitely block a Shambling Vent. In fact, I'll probably double block here. Sends 1 at Karn this time, sends 2 at Karn. Okay. Alright, so our Liquimetal Coating's not as useful anymore, but I like our situation right now. So we'll go ahead and double block here. Just pass the turn. Back to us. Like I said, if we find a land here, we're in great shape. We end up finding a Karn. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 for Karn. Let's do bridge and a Liquimetal Coating. I don't see them emptying my hand here with, like, say, a Liliana. They could, but then we'll be pretty good shape here going forward. Gotta wonder what they have left in their hand here. There's a sword. It's a good sword. All right, I feel pretty safe here. Gonna have the Karns, gonna stop the Sword of Feast and Famine. Even if I top deck another castable card here, at least I've got Karn down and it will live beyond the spirits here, so that's good. Looking reasonably good for this one. There's a land, is good to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play our land down, we'll play Karn. Let's take them off white, since we can. Cool. Then we'll take them off double black next, and then from there, hopefully it'll be enough and they'll concede. Otherwise, we'll just need one of our Chandras. Shambling Vent here, we'll have to take them off of white again, it looks like. We now have a welding jar that protects the Liquimetal Coating. This isn't something we typically have. And they do concede. We have them completely locked out here. Looks good. All right. Sideboard. I have some Hazards, which wouldn't be bad. And maybe a little bit better than a couple Chalices. This does increase the curve a little bit, but I'm okay with doing that since I have Heart of Fire here. Heart of Fire has been fairly good for us. We want a way to sometimes get rid of cards and Hazoret does provide that. Also, Hazoret doesn't just die to, say, like a Tarmogoyf, which isn't a bad thing either. We'll go ahead and just make that small change here, and let's go to final games here. We're up a game, got a chance for the 2-3. Let's lock it up. Let's do it. All right, opponent gets their sideboard all situated. I think we can keep this. A lot of tokens here. That being said, we're going to be fighting tokens with tokens. Go ahead and play the Mind Stone, and if they don't have any discard, we get the bridge down. High probability they will. We'll keep. All right. Here we go with this opponent. A little Shambling Venson sideways. No worries from us. We're just going to work our way up to these 3 and 4 drops. Kind of a heavy high converted mana cost hand, especially with the top deck of the Chandra. That being said, if they do Inquisition or Thoughtseize us, Mind Stone might be on their radar here. Might be. Not always guaranteed, though. Overgrown Tomb here. My opponent's really just not afraid of a Blood Moon. Tarmogoyf is played. It is a 1-2. Speaking of Blood Moons. Mind Stone played here. Opponent hasn't checked our hand just yet. Fingers crossed they don't here, but they are of Abzan colors. I expect a Thoughtseize here and this Goyf to grow very large. If not, though, and they play another Tarmogoyf here, whew, Blooming Marsh is not too worrisome. Opponent attacks for 1. I need them to play something here. Is a Stoneforge Mystic. I can deal with this. We're going to put that Blood Moon into play and hope it's enough. This is a very greedy mana base from my opponent. Batterskull here. Land would be great. No land, though. That's okay. Blood Moon played. Do they have a Nature's Claim? The answer is no. Okay. They can't even get Batterskull into play because of the Collected Defiance. Sorry, not the Collected Defiance, because this doesn't have white. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? We're a little ways away from doing anything with the Tarmogoyf or the Stoneforge. Collected Defiance here might be worth killing, say, the Tarmogoyf before it grows too large. Fulminator's an interesting card here. That being said, it doesn't really kill anything. I'd love a land for Piakir Nalar. Ugh. Let's do... Man, I kind of want to kill the Tarmogoyf before it gets too big here. Let's just kill Tarmogoyf here. This will make it 3. This would make it 4 if they wanted to, but it won't be big enough here. There we go. That's nice for us. 1-2 and a 2-2. We do risk them top decking a Plains here. That being said, they could also just top deck a land and put it into play. And they do. Will they play this into play? It looks like they're going to. Batterskull in play. We are really, really going to need some lands here. We can make chump blockers, though, if we'd like. Opponent attacks for 3 and gives us the turn back. All right, we're going to go ahead and ditch probably a Piakir Nalar and a Chandra here and just make a bunch of tokens. I'm leaving myself with 2 bridges. We miss on the lands. Just pass the turn. That's not ideal. Opponent finds black. They're getting out of the lock. I'm assuming we're going to get attacked with everything. A Fulminator and a Germ. We'll block here and chump block. Seems all right. Not disappointed with that. Could Thoughtseize here. No such luck. Let's go ahead and Apparently we're just going to season Pyromancer again here. We can get rid of the Maze Mine Tome and I think the Collective Defiance here. Oh my gosh. What are lands? Luckily we've slowed this game down quite a bit. My opponent has found their white mana now. Attacks with Germ here. I'm going to chump block again. Oh, we do find that land finally. All right. Let's play a Chandra here. Let's go ahead and downtick Killing Stoneforge. And pass the turn. Lingering Souls is an option for my opponent. We're going to hope that their hand is mainly green at this point. If it's mainly green, we have a shot here. Perhaps get the Chandra down. Maybe the Hazoret. Maybe the Pia Kiran Alar. They have found green. Alright. My opponent's going to gain quite a bit of life here. Let's play a Chandra Heart of Fire here, but I'm not going to use the uptick ability just yet. We're going to take 2 to their face and pass turn. I'd love to get the Hazoret down next. I think we're just going to work through these cards that we have in hand. I know I'm holding on to these bridges for a while. I think that's okay. I really do. I think it'll be all right. And our opponent just concedes here. I think the overwhelming Planeswalkers is just too much for them. Tough to say. Getting the 2-3 though, and opponent just is just not happy with these. We have a bunch of bridges here. We got the Hazoret. We're going to draw some lands, collect Defiance. Not like super winning here, but maybe they just need double black. Maybe they feel like just playing one creature at a time is just not going to keep up with these. Whatever it is, 2-3 overall. Fought back for that one. 50 play points. Not about run. We'll see you in the conclusion. 2-3 overall. A big token red prison. Just wasn't our night. A lot of things that got around what we were doing. Opponents got the wins. We had a good chance against Green Devotion. Probably very little chance against the Ponza list. And didn't have an aggro plan for Tron, although we did beat that. List is pretty sweet. I don't know if it's competitive or not. It's going to need some tweaking, I think, before we really get something that is straight red that can hold its own. Red-green's probably the best thing. Red-black and red-white are the runner-ups. And Red Prison itself is lagging behind. That being said, we'll continue to seek out what can be done for Red Prison, and we'll see if we can make Blood Moon great again. With that being said, thank you everyone for watching. As always, it's been my pleasure, and we'll see you in the next matches. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that jazz. Take care.